Yo, it's Hammerhead again. Doing another video, if you guys would actually watch my videos. Anyway, so I'd like to talk about today's version of NBA basketball. It sucks. Now, it doesn't suck because there's plenty of stars. There's plenty of superstars, plenty of good teams, but today's version of basketball is just absolute crap. I mean, you can't go more than 30 seconds without there being a foul, then go to free throws and another foul, free throws. You can't even touch a guy. There's no such thing as physicality anymore. I mean, why do you think the early 2000s, the 90s, and most of the 80s were the best era of basketball? Because you could actually be physical. There weren't guys like getting like 30 fouls or like how many freaking free throws. I mean, the reason that James Harden averages so many points is because he takes like 14, 15 free throws a game. Or maybe even more than that. That's the more or less reason why he's the big scoring champ. If he played in the 90s, he'd probably cuss out. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a good player. But what I'm saying is, the only one of the reasons he's a dominant player in today's game is because he gets fouled so much and that he relies on those free throws, more or less. And then I can't stand LeBron James. If he played in the 90s, oh my God, those players would kick his ass. Players like Rick Mahorn and MJ and Dave Robinson, they would freaking kick his ass. Oh yeah, and Larry Johnson and Patrick Ewing would take him to the chopping block. It's just unbelievable that how much it's just become like. What's the cleanest way of putting this? Because if I say what I really want to say, this video would probably be taken down by YouTube. This game's for there's a lot of bad words I want to say, but if I say them, I wouldn't be politically correct. So, and I wouldn't. This video would be taken down. So, better left. You can probably deduce what I want to say. So, it's just mind-boggling. It's because it is. I mean, God, there is a lot of scoring, but there's now people rely on the outer rim instead of actually getting in the paint and fighting and going to get those two. Everyone wants to shoot the threes. Oh, shoot the threes. Oh, shoot the threes. Everyone cares about the threes. And you can't rely on just shooting threes. You gotta get big guys in the paint that can freaking take down anybody, like Shaq and Ewing and George Mikan and Bill Russell. Those guys could freaking ball and hurt people and freaking dominate. That's why they're some of the greatest players in NBA history. And then let me say this again. Wilt Chamberlain was able to average 50 points for an entire season when there was no such thing as a shot clock. There was no such thing as the 3-point. And he was averaging around maybe 5 to 8 to 6 free throws a game. Nobody's even come close to those kinds of numbers. In an era now where your guys are taking like over 10 free throws, there's a 3-pointer, and guys are scoring like crazy, but nobody's even come close to those freaking numbers. And nobody's come close, except Kobe Bryant, to breaking his record of scoring 100 points in a single game. Now, it just isn't fun, because there's really no rivalries, because now the game is just dominated by stars in terms of they choose where they want to go. They choose who's their coaches. They choose who's the general managers. They force the owners into situations where, I'm not saying that's completely bad, but I'm saying there's just too much of it. There has to be a balance, in my opinion. I mean, it's just too much, because now it's like a team like Golden State. Everyone knows they're the champions, except, I mean, it's your job to beat them. But what my point is, you had like the event with Kobe and Kyrie, and their whole thing with going to agreeing to go to the Nets and stuff, and then there was talk of when D Wade and Bosh and LeBron made their super team. It's just whatever happened to the team. This is supposed to be a team, not superstars. This is supposed to be a team sport. So, in the direction that NBA is going, it's going down, in my opinion. The league will not survive if this continues, and it really is hard for me to watch NBA games. I mean, I'm going to watch my Celtics, but it's really difficult to watch because there's always just I've already explained why. So, it's a bit of a rant, but that's my opinion. So, see you until next time. Hammerhead.